folks, absolutely brilliant. Okay, if you haven't got water beside you, then do remember while I'm chattering for 2 seconds to grab some, because if it's warm here, it might well be warm with you. I'm already roasting, but hopefully that's warmed up the body, got the breath going a little bit, and we're now going to do an Indian dance using all of the work on the hands, the fingers, mobilizing all of those joints with our hand positions, Indian hand positions. This one is light bulbs, where we twist and twist. Okay, so we're working the wrists very much, and hands, flag, that's the Indian flag position, known as pataka, and it means stop or silence. Then we go into fist, mushti, and that one means strength or strength of character or macho person. And then we go into the pretty ones. This is lotus, so stretching out those fingers. It's a really good exercise to do this anyway, because we tend to use our fingers like this, stretching them out. And when you do, bring in the little finger, and the ring finger comes with it. That's your lotus. The word is alapadma. And here, if you put the hands together, you're creating the lotus flower of India. There will be a shout out in the next session for anybody that can actually spell that word, alapadma, okay, meaning lotus in India. Finally, my favorite one. 1, 2 fingers to the thumb, the other 2 up in the air like that. This is B. And the word for B is kata kakamara. Another one you can spell if you like. Just send me a text with those spellings and I'll give you a shout out. Okay, so B, that's for picking and plucking, bringing the stars down from the sky, that kind of movement. They're the main ones. We've also got fan or happy hands, or for those of you that dance, jazz hands, needle, which is the index finger going up and down, and as you can see, I'm working my body at the same time, and I might even throw this one in. This is telephone, so you put your 3 middle fingers down, little finger up, thumb up, and then you act like you're talking on the dog and bone. Another great one if you want to keep 2 meters distance from people. If you walk around chattering to your hands, they'll keep well clear, so you'll be good. This is called Barmalizer. It's a bit like the Macarena. And our chorus takes the arm out with a hand in lotus, out with a hand in lotus, then flat, flag there, okay? And we do that slowly to start with. Then we do a clap, 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 hands in B, and a wiggle, 2, 3, 4. Bit later on, we'll double up the timing, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, clap, 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 wiggle. Anyway, see how you go with that. Work the body. This is to get us slightly more out of puff. And the foot positions are all ones you know, so let's give it a whirl. March it out. Elbows up. Big smiles. Hands in flag. We're going to wash the window, so flag it down. Bring it up. Indian head down. Bring it up. Okay, nice and slowly. Out, in, clap, clap, and a wiggle. Watch the window. Bring it up. Excellent. 2, 3, double it up. Oh yes. Clap, clap. Wiggle. You can stick to the slow version if you want, or double it up like this. Clap, clap. Walk to the right. Center. To the side. Center. Okay, so open and fan. Close the fan. No. Needle. Let's move to the side. No. Good. No. And wash the window. Down. Bring it up. Good. One more. Bring it up. And out. High. Here we go. Chorus. Looking good. Keep smiling. Double clap. Woo. Let's do it again. Let's try a waterfall. Flat hand. To the center. Good. Work the hips. Twist and lotus. That's brilliant. Get those arms nice and straight. We're working the biceps and the triceps. Good. Watch the window.
Yeah, you're moving so fly. When your body's so tight.
To the side.
Shake it up all night.
Back to the
Why
front.
don't you try? Get the beats when you turn up the tide. Give me the back rub as you look
Other side.
Up there, all the way to the side. Shake your body non-stop as you
Back to the chorus. Clap, clap. Sing along with me. Or not. Go to the right. Center. Good. Light bulb. Twist. 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 Good. Keep those arms high if you can. Smash it. And again. Watch the windows.
Shake it up all night.
Let's go.
Everybody now, join in the song. Clap your hands and shake on your waist and move on your feet.
Let's do it again.
Everybody now, join in the song.
Ooh, clap, clap.
Sing it and sing it and let's just carry on.
Waterfall. Brilliant. Center. Okay, so needle. And back. Nice and high. Happy hands. Now we're going to work the waist to the side. Feel that waist twisting away. And again. Good. Roll. Brilliant. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Wherever you are, big round of applause for everyone. Nice to sip of water. I think I'm going to have a sip because it's very warm here. Cheers, everybody. Ah, that's better. Okay. And the word cheers brings us very nicely into our next section because we're going into the strength section. But what I'm actually going to do is sit to stand work, but we're going to do it to music today because Move It or Lose It today is truly international. We do need a chair for this, so grab yourself a chair. We're not going to sit on it for too long because we're going to be up and out of it. But basically, I want you to imagine that we're in the beer cellar, and so there will be some stand up, sit down, which will give you a perfect opportunity to practice your sit to stand to strengthen those quadriceps and the glute muscles, because we mustn't forget to squeeze those as we come up and down as well. Lots of other things as well. Just follow along, folks, for our strength section, which goes a little bit like this. Good, so we're going to lean forward, lean back, to the right, to the left. Forward, back, right, to the left. You've got it. Forward, back, right, to the left. Forward, back, right, to the left. Clap, clap. Clap, clap, slap, slap. And sway. Okay, here we go. This time, forward and back. left. You're doing great. Sway. Let's go. Lean forward, lean back, to the right, to the left. Stand up, sit down, to the right, to the left. Lean forward, lean back, to the right, to the left. Stand up, sit down. This is a German dog, by the way, as you all know. Clap, clap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah! Well done. Well done, movers. So hopefully you can feel that you've done a little bit of work there now. And isn't it opportune that we actually do have a German sausage dog with us here today to have made that routine possible for everyone. Good. Now, I know that not everyone's got one of these at home. I know some of you do. These are the classic bender balls that we use. But for this exercise, use the ball if you have, or a soft ball of this size if you've got one. If not, find yourself a cushion and just mirror exactly what I'm doing with that, because it will still give you the benefit. So we're going to work on good posture, hip walking forward to the front of the chair, lengthening up through the spine. Feet are hip width apart, okay, and chin is on the shelf and shoulders slightly back, opening the chest. We're going to start then by working with the inner thighs. We've done some work here on the quadriceps and we've done some work on the glutes, but these muscles here are important too. So grabbing the ball then, popping it between your thighs, making sure that you're not popping it between your knees, because you don't want to put the pressure there, it wants to be there. And staying in that lovely posture, all you're going to do is just squeeze the thighs together. Squeeze as hard as you feel comfortable with, hold for a few seconds and release. So it's kind of squeeze, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4. You can do this with your fingers if you want, it doesn't really make any difference, but it gives you the rhythm if you want to use it with rhythm. Release. 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 110 of these today because we're celebrating the fact that my oldest participant in Move It or Lose It is actually, I believe, 111. It said on my crib sheet over there. 111. Oh no, sorry, she's ill. Can't make it today. She's actually 81. Beg your pardon. Sausage dog's hidden in the bushes there. Come on out, sausage dog. So let's carry on then, those of you that are still with the ball, a couple more. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, release, 2, 3, 4, squeeze and release. And this, folks, is waving to the helicopter that's going overhead. That's it. Hopefully you can hear me again now. This little exercise is a great one you can do at home on your own, and it's fine if you do it for 3 lots of 10. It'll really exercise those inner thigh muscles to support all of the other muscles. Let's bring ourselves up then and exercise the wrists, because of course our wrists are working particularly hard at the moment because everyone seems to be eating a lot more and opening a lot more jars and cans. So we're using that technique all the time. Taking the ball then and popping your wrists either side, so we're not putting pressure on the hands, just on the wrist like this, and lifting here at the elbows, okay? And then again, it's squeeze as hard as you feel comfortable with and release, keeping those elbows up. Squeeze and release. That's engaging the muscles all around the wrist to help protect those porous bones that we hold in our wrists. And if you feel a bit of this kind of shaking, this is good, because this means your muscles are really working. And release. Again, with an exercise like this, it's one you can do at home if you want to every day. A couple of lots of 10 will make a big difference. And I know some of you, having done this exercise with me, are often saying how you've suddenly developed a lot more strength in your wrists and of course in your arms, because you can probably feel that those biceps are engaging as well. Okay, just time for one more, and I'm going to do one that's our favorite, where we find the bicep, which is that little muscle there, pop the ball underneath like this, and then squeeze into the body. And to help us, we always use a little bit of vocalization. So we go, ooh, and release. Okay, all together. Ooh, and release. Lovely, all together. Ooh, one more time. Ooh, fantastic. The other side then, on top of the bicep. Remember to push in, and we'll change the vocalization, make it more interesting. Are you ready? Some of you know this anyway. Ah, all together, and ah, and release. Ah, and release. And one more time. Ah. And then, of course, we can do one on each, so it goes ooh, ah, ooh, ah. But I've got to stop now because the police seem to have turned up to find out what's going on in my grandfather's back garden. But anyway, folks, that's another one. And also, of course, you know this one, but remember you can even exercise the muscles here in the fingers and the thumb by just squeezing and thinking of something that you don't like. Ooh, and doing that too. All of this helps good strength in the arms, in the fingers, and in the wrists. So there's a nice little bit of exercise there to help you with strengthening those areas. Good. Well, I'll come up with another sit to stand, put the ball away, and we're going to work now with balance, because balance, of course, is a very important part of what we do, and it leads on from strength. And for this one, again, I'm going to use some music, but what we're actually aiming to do is movement that changes the weight. So we're twisting a little, so we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, or we might go 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, I'm swiveling a little bit. I'm working my hips. I'm exercising the core muscles here by twisting, and I'm also using balance because I'm changing weight. So it's a nice one to do. There are some of these, because these are really good to get the heart rate going and also for the upper body. And then we're going to use memory technique, because this is a Blues Brothers song, and about halfway through there's a whole list of dances that we do. And the way to remember them, if I haven't already shown you this before, is like this. It starts, and I'll cue you in when we get halfway through. It says do the twist. So I want you to imagine yourself now dressed in a party outfit doing the twist, yeah? And then imagine that you're standing on top of a giant fly. So you're doing the fly, yeah? And then imagine that you, standing on top of the fly, need to jump into the water for a swim to cool down. So what we're doing is we're doing the twist, the giant fly, yeah, and then the swim in the water. When we get in the water, over here we see a bird, so we've got the bird. And over there we have the duck, and so we've got the duck, which is a lovely shoulder exercise too. It's all quite fast, so just follow along with the bits that you can. And then the nicest thing is that up behind you comes this great big orange monkey, and that's the way to remember what comes next after the duck. So after the duck, behind you comes an orange monkey, and we do the monkey. 1, 2, double, 1, 2, double, tap, tap, double. Another good one for balance. Okay, and the monkey is saying something to us, excuse me, very loudly. He's going, wah, and the wah takes us into the Watusi. And the Watusi is definitely a balance exercise. We're going on to one leg balance, but we're just pushing out to the side. That's the Watusi. And finally, after the Watusi, we do the mashed potato. Mashed potato. The way to remember that is that as the monkey jumps into the water, shouting wah for Watusi, he lands in a pile of mashed potato, conveniently floating in the water. So hopefully you'll remember all of that, and then we'll finish with a little bit of the old bony Maroney. I do have the sausage dog who's now performing and doing her version of this piece of music. Anyway, it's quite fast, but you can do it at whatever level you like. We're mainly concentrating on balance, but those of you that want a bit more aerobic, this is a great one for you. So let's start with our hand jive as we come into this. Are you ready? Clap. Hand jive, ready?
Well, I heard about the fella you've been dancing with
Yes.
all over the neighborhood.
And again.
So why didn't you ask me, babe? Or didn't you think
Little run.
I could?
That's the stuff. Take the arms up. Bring them back. Heel. Good. Just checking your balance. Oh, let's twist then. Twisting. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Let's do that double twist. So it's 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Got it. 2. Bend over. Lovely. Good. Woo! And jive. Twist. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Step, step, double. Bend over. Change. Yeah. Woo! And clap. Down. Here we go. Twist. Next is to fly, remember? Swim. Duck. Monkey. What you see? Check your balance. Good. Mashed potato. Coming forward. And back. Bony Maroney. Here we go. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Woo-hoo! Oh, you're looking good. Fabulous. Well done, everybody. That was absolutely brilliant. Have a quick sip of water. We're going to finish with a nice cool down for you now. But please do have a sip of water. Take a couple of lovely deep breaths. Good. This is Let It Be by the Beatles. Just stretch out those muscles. As always, you've been absolutely wonderful. By the way, they closed Meaford Beach. I don't know if you know they closed Meaford Beach, but that was mainly because I was standing on the wall doing a bit of this. And so they've prevented that now. I got to find somewhere else. So pick your